The amount of times I've been on dates with white men and they've asked me if I've dated black guys before is ridiculous. I was on a date with this white guy in Chicago last year and he goes, "So, who do you typically date? The guys that look like me?" I knew exactly what he was getting at because most white guys will ask this question at some point because they're trying to figure out ultimately if you're, quote, tainted. I literally said to him, "Does it bother you that you think about black men so much more than they will ever think about you?" And that ended the conversation, but obviously we didn't go on a second date and I do think he was pretty offended by that. But the amount of white guys, even who are, quote, liberal, who are genuinely threatened and intimidated by you going on a date with people of color is ridiculous. Because it's not just black men. If they find out that you've dated a South Asian man or you've been on dates with women, specifically women of color, they will react similarly. Although it is obviously the most pronounced and genuinely disgusted that they will look if you say that you have been on dates with black men. But this is just one example of white men trying to figure out the, quote, purity of the white women they're seeing. And it's a way of resource guarding their own women because they don't like white women seeing other races or other genders.
This is reason 10,000 why racism is rooted in jealousy. Tell me why I received this message of a white man saying, "Well, you look like you've dated black men, and if you have, none of us want you." I didn't know this was an attitude that a lot of white men hold, but apparently they think that white women who sleep with black men or with brown men, they become tainted in some way, and they no longer want that white woman. But this is absolutely rooted in jealousy, because why would it matter to them unless black men made them feel insecure? There is something about black men sleeping with white women who they view as their possessions that really gets them feeling angry, like they aren't good enough, because let's face it, they aren't. And white men are obsessed with black men's penises. Like, they talk about it often online. You'll see comments like, "I bet she takes black dick," or whatever. And it's fucking weird and genuinely unsettling how much they talk about black men. If they weren't insecure, if they didn't feel jealous, then why would they talk about it? They wouldn't. Genuinely so embarrassing on their end, because quite literally anybody can see through.
A lot of white women are doing videos on TikTok and saying that why is it that whenever they venture into a new relationship, the first thing that these guys ask is, "Have you had a black boyfriend?" That's the first question they ask, not what music you like, not what art you're into, whether you have a faith, whether you're atheist. The first thing they ask is the BBC question. The BBC, and you begin to realize a lot of these white women are exposing these insecure little rats. And that's the reason why a lot of white women now are going for us strong, intellectual black males, because they can't be asked with dealing with this immaturity. They're like men who are confident, secured in themselves. And that's the reason, there's nothing worse. Can you imagine, if I'm going to go wine and dining with someone, and the first thing I ask is, "Oh, does your ex-partner has a bigger house than me?" You'd find it a put off. "Does your ex-partner drive a better car than me?" You'd think, what kind of idiot is this? This doesn't sound like a confident person. And this is the kind of question they're asking. Immature mindset. How could you be attracted to someone when they're obsessed? They're really obsessed. And that's the reason why a lot of white women now are drawn towards black men, because they find it insecure. Women want men who are confident, not arrogant, confident, who carry themselves well, who conduct themselves well, who are articulate, educated, well-read, secured in themselves. You don't get that these days. "Oh, have you had a BBC before?" It sounds infantile. It sounds immature. And they don't realize how these women are laughing at them, because it sounds pathetic. It sounds like you're having a panic attack. You're going to stop breathing at any moment. Oh, the very idea, the very idea. Oh, I can't compete, I can't compete. You can't find that attractive. Oh, I can't compete, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. Oh, peace in my mind. And they go to bed and palpitate and sweat, wondering, oh, is he better than me in bed? How insecure and how pathetic. And that's the reason why the likes of Tommy Robinson, the likes of Nigel Farage are losing their women. That's the reason they sleep with one eye open, because there's nothing more stupid than an insecure little rat. Nothing more stupid and pathetic than somebody who's questioning you. Oh, there's loads of videos on TikTok, and the women find it insecure. They find it sickening. They find it sickening that you could preoccupy your little mind, not with education, not with finding out how the universe works, but you're obsessed with somebody's sausage. You're obsessed with somebody's sausage. Come on, either you're inside the closet, which a lot of these white women are questioning now, whether these guys are into black men. They're so obsessed with our penises. You know, they're not interested in encyclopedia, in thinking, in bettering themselves. It's sick and it's pathetic, and it's no wonder they're coming for us, and I'm ready for them.